Today we're going to go through the UDL guideline of providing multiple means of action and expression. This is what you're going to be focusing on for this week. And the overview talks about the different ways that you can show what you know in the way that makes the most sense for you. So providing those options is essential because, writing a paper is just not the only way of doing things. So if you notice in the way that we've built our course for EDU 730, you have options to show what you know in the way that makes the most sense for you. If you want to write a paper, that's fine. If you want to do a slide or a screen recording like I'm doing, that's great too. If you want to make an infographic or present what you know in a way that is fun and engaging for you, I'm all for it, as long as it aligns to the lesson goal. So there are different ways that you can provide multiple means of action and expression. The first is providing options for physical action. So looking at your materials, and we talked a lot about designing content that's accessible, having closed captions, alt text for images. If you're using hashtags, using camel case, which is where you're using capital letters for each word, so a screen reader will read it as the actual hashtag and not blah, 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 because that's usually what happens to a screen reader. So that assistive technology, you want to make sure that it can be operable for that. Checking with tools and environments and optimizing those tools and assistive technologies in those checkpoints for action and expression. And you can drill down in those, and I encourage you to do that this week so that you can look at and see, based on what these checkpoints are. Guideline 5 is expression and communication. Using multiple media for communication in flexible ways, multiple tools for construction and composition, and then building fluencies with graduated levels of support and performance. So applying and releasing those scaffolds as needed to support that independent learning. That's that goal of developing learner expertise that we're looking for. So if you want to drill down a little bit, see the differentiated models, mentors, scaffolds that can be released. That's why I love assistive technology or inclusive technology so much. Really carefully consider the support that you're providing, whether it's embedded into reading and writing software, or it's embedded into your student devices, or it's something that can be taught and that you fade gradually. The last guideline in the action and expression is providing options for executive functioning. So it allows us to really get over our short-term impulses and then setting long-term goals, planning strategies, and monitor progress. And we teach kids how to do that. We want to make sure that higher functions are taken, that the capacity is reduced to some sort of level, and that the framework involves efforts to expand this executive capacity by scaffolding some lower level skills so that they require less executive processing for those who might be challenged with executive functioning. This guideline in particular talks about the overall executive functioning in this iteration. Practice setting and challenging authentic goals that are relevant, meaningful, and engaging, helping plan and strategy develop. I get consulted a lot in AT about this particular one. Kids that are missing assignments or aren't completing the work despite having access to Google Classroom that has everything splayed out for you. Maybe it's just not the right tool. So what do you got to do? Well, we have to scaffold and support that. So whether we're using a graphic to denote that or helping kids use their planner tools better, whether it's an actual written planner or it's their phone, which you can use your calendar for, you can use for Google, you could use tasks, you can use different tools at Microsoft or Apple, like reminders that are set to a date and a calendar. You get multiple notifications so that you're getting your planning and strategies done so you can get your work accomplished. So it's not just about work completion for compliance, but it's about building those skills on how to effectively plan and organize and get those tasks done in a timely manner. Managing your information and resources, and then capacity for monitoring progress, really teaching kids to monitor their own goals. What's a reasonable goal for you? What would be a good progress? Where are you towards this, and what language are you using? Involve your learners in that process so that they know I'm working towards this goal, here's where I'm at, and I'm feeling really good about it because I can analyze my growth. Asking questions, what kind of feedback do you want? Guiding self-reflection, doing different self-assessment strategies, different rubrics. So I really encourage you to take your time this week and look at this and put this piece to your UDL puzzle together in terms of the ways that you are providing multiple means of action and expression. In adult learners, we're always looking for transfer of learning, and in kids, we want to see that being applied to a broader context. So showing what they know in different ways helps us to kind of gravitate towards that goal. I hope you enjoyed this week's module and the experiences for week 5. Take good care.